I've never kept a scrapbook in my life. I don't have any tapes of anything I've ever broadcast. I don't keep trophies, and I don't have pictures of celebrities in my house. I've always felt that my house belonged to my family, and it certainly was not to be a shrine for Chuck Thompson. However, I am going to have to change one little bit of that because I want my grandchildren to know what their granddad did for a living and how proud he is of what his public has thought of him for all of these years.
It's been written that the Hall of Fame is a place of grace and class, where you arrive expecting to tour baseball's past, but instead, what you discover is your own. It is pictures of places you've never been and belongings of people you never met. You are drawn to its scuffed baseballs and gritty photographs as if they were your own. And, in a way, they are. Any fan who grew up listening to the Orioles will have an even stronger attachment to the memories housed within this shrine to America's great pastime, because on Sunday, August 1st, 1993, among the elite immortalized here is Chuck Thompson. The longtime voice of the Baltimore Orioles was honored with the Ford C. Frick Award for his major contributions to the game as a broadcaster. I'm John Miller, inviting you to listen to Chuck Thompson's Greatest Hits, presented by the Baltimore Orioles, Radio 11 WBAL, Baltimore's news talk station, Griffith Auto Park in Westminster, Honda, Dodge Trucks, and Lincoln Mercury, Route 140 at Route 97, minutes west of 795 and the Baltimore Beltway. Griffith Honda in Towson, York at Bosley Roads, 2 blocks south of Beltway exit 26. Doug Griffith Chrysler Plymouth, Harford Road at Beltway exit 31 north, and Griffith Automotive of York, Pennsylvania. Honda, Cadillac, BMW, and Hyundai. South Queen Street, 1 block west of I-83, exit 6W. And now, Chuck Thompson's Greatest Hits.
It's been a great career, and it's been, for me, for the most part, a career of hit or miss. I came out of high school with no particular talent. I stumbled into this business. When I was a dance band singer, and one of the girls who was a classmate of mine dared me to take an audition in the local radio station. I took it. I read one piece of copy. They hired me, and look what happened.
Powell, the runner at first base, 2 down in the bottom of the ninth, 10-3. And now here is Frank again. Sherman to the stretch. He sets, looks to check Powell at first, delivers. Fly ball, well hit, deep left field. It is going to be the 500th home run of a brilliant major league career. Frank Robinson has done it.
Can he get there? No, sir. A home run for Brooks Robinson. Number 12. 3 more Bird runs. Ain't the beer cold?
Hi, this is Ernie Harwell with the Detroit Tigers, one-time partner of the great Chuck Thompson. I worked in Baltimore for 6 years, and for many of those seasons, Chuck and I worked together. It was a great pleasure to work with a professional, the consummate professional, such as Chuck Thompson. And the thing that I admire about Chuck the most is the fact that day in and day out, he had such a high quality of broadcast. But he's a quality person. He's a wonderful guy, and I consider it a privilege to have been a partner of Chuck Thompson. And Chuck, I just want to wish you the very best. You are the best, and the Hall of Fame is lucky to have you in it.
Hi, Chuck. This is Dave Niehaus, the voice of the Seattle Mariners. Certainly all of us in this business congratulate you into going into baseball's Hall of Fame, but for anyone who's ever come into contact with you, that is not the important thing. The important thing is that all along you've just been a Hall of Fame individual, and that is much more important than where you're going. To you, you belong with everybody there, the ball players, the broadcasters, the writers. I couldn't be happier. Again, congratulations, and God bless.
I kind of think about baseball parks. And one that comes to mind was a place in Seattle, Washington called Sick Stadium. The broadcaster for the visitors sat looking down the first baseline. Daylight baseball, it was wonderful because Mount Rainier was right out there. And sometimes that was better to watch than the ball game. But it was a kind of it was aptly named Sick Stadium. Well, believe me, will you believe this? Boog Powell had one inside the park home run in his career, and it was in 6 stadiums. He really did. But as a broadcaster, here I am looking down the first baseline. If a guy hits a ground ball or anything that goes by the third baseman and out into left field, you know how I had to follow the play? A mirror was hung right up there. You could see center field, shortstop, second base, right field, first baseman. But after that, you had to go to the mirror. And that was a funny kind of a way to do baseball.
I guess one of my biggest regrets of all time is not being able to listen to Chuck Thompson during the games and having to be out on the field. Whenever I was on the disabled list or something like that, when I wasn't playing, to sit around and listen to Chuck is sort of part of Baltimore, is part of me, it's part of growing up, and Chuck Thompson is the Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, my goodness. Let's watch the right fielder, Northrup, into the upper deck for the home run, and for a moment I thought that was going to land on the roof. Boog Powell, his 20th home run, and the Birds lead it 4-3. What a smash off the bat of Powell. Right into the teeth of a booming wind.
In all of the years I spent in Baltimore, there was only one difficult time. It was 1954. Major League Baseball came to Baltimore, and I was on the outside looking in because of a sponsor conflict. And once again, Lady Luck stretched out her hand to me. Pat Roach and Norman Albany took me down to the National Brewing Company and introduced me to a man named Jerry Hofberger. And we talked for about a half an hour. I recognized the fact that I was in the presence of a very unusual man. He said, "Kid, we got a deal." He stood up and put his hand across the desk and shook mine. And that handshake lasts 23 years. I'm very proud to have been a part of that kind of trust.
Here now, Bob Gritch, fly to right, hit into a forced play. The Duke, Rorik Harrison, cranks and throws. There's a high fly ball, well hit, deep left field. It's got that good look. Hold on. There she goes. Home run, Bob Gritch. 1 ball, no strikes to Baylor. Bibby ready. He cranks and fires again, right down Broadway, and a strike just called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swinging a couple of bats in the on-deck circle is the great big little hero, one of many in yesterday's second game victory, Al Bumbry, the 1-1 pitch to Baylor. Fly ball toward the alley, right center field. The center fielder racing after it, may not get there. He doesn't. Baylor flying. The ball's at the wall. Baylor stretching it out. Baylor around second, on his way for 3. No throw. And Baylor has tripled to open the bottom of the 9th.
We had to go to New York City to go to the baseball writers' dinner up there. Had to go every year. Jerry Hofberger bought a table. Well, I'd been there 3 or 4 years, and, it didn't do very much for me. And I was working Washington Senator baseball when this happened. About 10:30 at night at the banquet, I said to the guys at the table, well, I'm going to, cut out of here. I think I'm going to go to bed and get a little sleep. See you guys tomorrow. Okay, kid. And away I go. I know that my pals from the Senators are over at Toots Shores. Jump in the cab. I go over to Toots Shores, belly up to the bar with all the rest of those guys, Francis Stam, Bert Hawkins, and Shirley Povich, and those kind of people. And we're having a nice night. All of a sudden, I feel a little tap on the shoulder, and I look around, and there's Mr. Gerald C. Hofberger. And Mr. Hofberger looked at me, and he said, "Kid, you got a hell of a bedroom."
Hi, this is Mark Holtz of the Texas Rangers, and about Chuck Thompson, there's a lot to say. He's got one of the great voices of all time, and obviously in the Baltimore, Washington area, he has brought the great drama and the excitement of both football and baseball to many, many fans here. There just aren't any better than Chuck Thompson. He has always been one of my heroes, and the young broadcasters, he's a great man to emulate. A Hall of Famer for sure, one of our favorite people in Texas, Chuck Thompson.
Kuntz. The right-hander is ready. His pitch to Frank. Line drive, base hit, left field corner. Retmund scores a tying run. Blair digging for the plate. He's over with a go-ahead. Brooks Robinson to third. Frank Robinson to second. And the Orioles are on top 9-8. The Orioles have pulled to within 1 run. It's Boston 7, Baltimore 6. 2 out, top of the 9th. And the last bit of hope for the Orioles is Andy Etchebarren. Lyle throws. Fly ball, well hit, deep left field. We're watching it closely. It is going to be off the wall. And here's Palmer scoring the tying run as Etchebarren goes into second base. It's all tied up. Way to go, Andy.
And here comes bad news Campaneris. McNally has not been able to do a thing with this fellow all night. He is 4 for 4 against McNally. Line drive caught by second baseman Johnson, and the ball game is over. McNally has won his 20th.
I'm Rex Barney. Chuck Thompson and I met in 1947. I was playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers. He was broadcasting for the Philadelphia Phillies. And that's when we first got to know each other. And we've been, by his estimation and mine both, very, very close friends. I admire him a great deal. He's a thorough professional, one of the best baseball announcers that ever happened. And it couldn't happen to a nicer man, a more of a professional man, a more dedicated person to the game of sports of all kinds, but especially baseball.
Hi, everybody. Fred Manfred. I had the good fortune of growing up in Baltimore and listening to Chuck Thompson in my formative years. Chuck Thompson was the broadcaster who planted the seeds in my mind to become a sports broadcaster. Listened to Chuck describe Orioles action, Colts action, and many great moments. I just want to say for my generation, to Chuck Thompson on the special day, the induction day into the Hall of Fame, Chuck, thank you very much.
Palmer now 1 out away from win number 20. All ready to go. The pitch coming down to Sims. High pop-up foul outside of third. Brooks is coming over hard near the dugout. He may have a shot at it, but it is going to be caught by Brooks right on the top step of the dugout. Palmer has won the cherished number 20.
Hi, this is Jim Palmer, and it's just great to be included in honoring Chuck Thompson. First of all, congratulations in getting to the Hall of Fame up in Cooperstown. I've always felt that part of my life here in Baltimore has been blessed by having somebody like Chuck Thompson to listen to. You know, as a rookie coming here in 1965, it was great when I didn't have an opportunity to pitch to sit in the locker room and listen to Chuck. I still remember listening to Chuck when I was on the disabled list for about 2 years. It was kind of a painful time for me, but it was enjoyable because I got to see what all the fans had an opportunity to listen to for all those years from Chuck. You know, it's a great tribute that we've had in Baltimore, a guy of not only the ability of Chuck, but also the class. And there is no finer gentleman in broadcasting than Chuck Thompson. And nobody deserves to be up in Cooperstown more than he.
2 strikes to Holt. Now the 2-strike offering. Palmer ready. Here it is. Struck him out. Swing and a miss. Holt goes down, and Palmer turned that one loose. The battle between Palmer and Paul Ratliff. Now standing at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Palmer kicks and throws. Curved him. Strike 3 is called, and no comment from Ratliff. Now with 2 out, here is another dangerous left-handed swinger, Rich Reese. And again, we'll have the 3-2 pitch. Palmer is ready to set. The runners go. The pitch. Strike 3 called. Palmer, with a brilliant comeback, struck out Holt, Ratliff, and Reese at the end of 3 1/2. It's Baltimore 5, Minnesota nothing.
They have loaded the bases with 1 out, and here is Ken Singleton. He has had 2 hits and 3 trips against starter Rorick Harrison. Now against the southpaw reliever LaRoche with the bases loaded. Singleton hits from the third base side. The first pitch. Line drive, base hit, right field. Baylor scores. Bumbry is headed for the plate. Blair on his way to third. It's a 5-4 ball game.
The Reds infield set up just about straight away to Brooks Robinson. Pitch to Brooks. Long fly ball fairly deep to left field. Back goes Carville. Back on the warning track. Right at the fence. He looks. It's gone. Brooks Robinson has homered to break the 3-3 tie. And the home run bats of the Orioles now put Baltimore in front 4-3.
Hi, this is Brooks Robinson, and I'd just like to say that Chuck Thompson and I have been friends going back to the middle 50s, and I can only tell you that Chuck is the greatest. I think what makes Chuck such a wonderful person, no matter what the situation may be, Chuck Thompson always has the right words, whether it be excitement, whether it be tragedy, enjoyment. He has the right words for the right moment, and that's the test of a true champion. So I'm just happy to have known Chuck Thompson all these years and really call him a friend of mine.
And here is Brooks Robinson. He has tonight walked and flied to right, and I hope every baseball fan is well aware of the fact that the next base hit for this Oriole third baseman will be number 2,000 in a brilliant career. The 3-2. Long drive, deep left field. This is going to do it.
Number 2,000 is a home run.
Real baseball is the father and the son having fun together. It's you and your number one underneath the lights or in the sun having fun together. Real baseball is Baltimore, is being there, is everyone, yeah, having fun together. More than runs, more than hits, more than a moment's fame, more than wins, more than losses, more than just a game. Oh, real baseball is everyone having fun, being one together.